Kia ora koutou katoa, it's Mrs. Goodson here, and this is a video about amines for Level 2 NCA Chemistry. Amines have the group NH2 and they are bases. This video is about how to name amines, how to explain the physical properties of amines, and how to describe and draw the chemical reactions of amines. So, as I said, amines have this NH2 group, and in Level 2 chemistry, we are most interested in primary amines, so we're just focusing on this NH2 group. So amines all contain a nitrogen atom bonded to at least one carbon atom with a functional group being NH2. This little note here explains that ammonia, NH3, is a base, and it forms hydroxide ions in solution with water and ammonium ions. So amines are similar to ammonia, except one of the hydrogens has been replaced with a hydrocarbon chain. So this amines have the general formula RNH2, where the R represents a hydrocarbon chain. If R is CH3, a methyl group, then we will have CH3NH2, which is methanamine. We just put amine at the end. If the R was an ethyl group, then it would be ethanamine. So we just replace the E at the end of the name, the parent name, with amine. If there are more than three carbons present, then the position of the amine group must be given. So this one here has got 6 carbons, and the amine group is attached at the end, this whole amine group. So it's hexane 1-amine. We just need a dash there. Okay, this one here this represents 1, 2, 3 carbons. So it's propan 2-amine because that second carbon there has the amine group attached to it. Amine groups can be classified as primary, secondary, or tertiary. And this is a slightly different naming system to how we classify alcohols and haloalkanes. So you just need to be aware of that. Primary amines contain a nitrogen as a NH2 group. And so these are the ones that we focus on. So this is the NH2 group here, right? So those are primary amines. Secondary amines have a nitrogen which have 2 alkyl groups on it. So it's only got an NH. And tertiary amines don't have any NHs. They just have 3 alkyl groups. So this nitrogen is attached to 3 carbons. So it's tertiary. This nitrogen is attached to 2 carbons, so it's secondary. This nitrogen is attached to 1 carbon, so it's primary. At level 2 NCA chemistry, we're going to focus on the primary amines, NH2 groups. So you just need to be aware that there are these secondary and tertiary amines which we'll come across later in level 3 and onwards. Now, the physical properties of amines is that they have higher melting and boiling points than their equivalent alkanes due to the NH2 group, which is highly polar due to the electronegativity of the nitrogen atom. Just like the alcohols, the smaller amines are soluble in water. Methanamine and ethanamine are actually gases at room temperature, and propanamine and butanamine are liquids with a fishy smell. In fact, all the really bad smelling things in the world are probably amines. This diagram here just shows the hydrogen bonding between molecules. Because this NH is a polar bond, this will be slightly negative and this will be slightly positive because nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Chemical properties. So we're talking about primary amines. So as I said, they are bases and they turn red litmus blue. When they're dissolved in water, the solution formed is basic. So for example, ethanamine reacts with water. When you put it in water, it dissolves and it forms this ethyl ammonium ion and hydroxide ions. And this is what makes the solution basic, because the concentration of the hydroxide ions will increase in the solution and therefore the pH will be greater than 7. Ethanamine is polar, so it dissolves in water. The lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom are attracted to the positive hydrogen atom of the polar, or slightly positive hydrogen atom of the polar water molecule. So it can form these hydrogen bonds, and so there is interaction between the molecules, intermolecular attractions. So these are the chemical properties of primary amines. They react with acids to form salts like other bases. So we've got ethanamine, so we could react it with an acid like hydrochloric acid. That AQ means it's dissolved in water, so it's an aqueous solution. So ethanamine, so it forms this positive ion, which is ammonium, ethyl ammonium, and the chloride ion comes from the hydrochloric acid and water. So we've got an acid plus a base makes a salt plus water. We can also react it with carboxylic acids because they're just acids as well. So we've got ethanoic acid and ethanamine, and it makes ethyl ammonium ethanoate. So this ion here comes from the ethanoic acid, and this ion here comes from the ethanamine. And then we've got to remember to put the water on as well. So protons are released from the carboxylic acid functional group, and these protons are accepted by the amine functional group, NH2, which forms salts containing these two ions. So we've got the negative ion and the positive ion. So that's the end of this video about amines, how to name them, the physical properties, and the chemical reactions of amines for NCA Level 2 Chemistry. Thanks for listening.